It's all about quality and quantity on Brewsday Tuesday. Here is Huck and Big Nate.
Oh, that was pretty synchronized swimming right there.
Yeah, buddy.
We got it figured out after all these years.
I say it's old hat now.
Yeah. I remember starting out, you had trouble with that.
Sometimes I still can't get the can
Yeah,
tops.
you can take those flat ones, I think is one there, like the bottle openers,
Yeah,
and then you shove them up under the tab and lift them up.
that feels like
I know
too much work.
it is. So I have the three notched, just one of my favorite breweries. Freedom to be Fresh IPA. So it's red, white, and blue. Jimmy sang the national anthem, so we're on a new game. Play ball. And this three notch, just the whole backstory of I just see a guy in a loincloth with a machete or whatever they had back in the day, probably an axe, stone axe, making three notches in a tree. I'm a hiker. I like that sort of thing. Well, it's just and these folks when they start out, they start their own distribution company, a good brewery. But go buy some beer. What do you got?
Another good brewery and one of my favorite beers is
Uh,
the
Treating you better this session.
you're making up for the watermelon. The
Okay.
Sierra Nevada Celebration Fresh Hop IPA. This is one that I get every year. We were talking about it off air. 6.8% ABV. Usually you can find this in bottles. I couldn't find it in bottles anywhere this holiday season,
Mm-mm-mm.
which is a little frustrating.
This is barely a Huck session beer, 7.2%, 45 IBUs.
I couldn't begin to tell you the IBUs in this one. I just know
There's
it's
a bunch.
yeah,
A bunch.
yeah, it's one of my all-time
It's a big
favorites.
old bunch. So now we're talking about, I think we'll head a different direction. We talked about the sad people, now talk about the happy people. So the election's over, Trump's back. Some people are sad, but a lot of people, like a larger percentage of people that are sad are happy. And why are they happy? Well, they're looking, this is a happy president. This is not a yelling, angry president. You know, he laughs, he smiles, he dances. You know, he had like the gayest band ever perform twice at his inauguration. YMCA. I mean, there you go. His uh his picks for different offices. He's got some diversity out there, but not really weird diversity. He didn't put any village people into anything. He did bring them to sing, which is what village people should do, not run the country.
I honestly think the one who dresses as a construction worker should be in charge of OSHA.
That makes sense, except he didn't have long sleeves, and there is a rule. I noticed he wasn't wearing a shirt on the vest, right? So you didn't take the 30-hour melt your brain OSHA course like I did. You have to wear long sleeves. That's the thing. Long pants. I used to get in trouble for wearing flip flops and shorts.
You've watched more Village People than I've ever watched.
Well, I watched it yesterday they were on. And they were on late last night. Actually, the thing that I thought struck me the most about the Village Pearson people, I knew every song, all the words.
Well, they
I'm like, how
were a
do I
powerhouse of
remember
making
that?
hits.
How do I remember that? But every song, don't join the Navy. Yeah, they just kept going on every time I go, this can be some weird song.
Macho
Yeah,
man.
Macho Man.
Good old Go West.
Go West. Yes, they were all there. But anyway, so I think we can, hope for. I don't think, everybody's like, well, of course, he can't go after anybody. They've all been pardoned. So you don't have to worry about that. Everybody, that's worried about women's rights or, abortion, that's basically, back to the states, which legally it should have been. I mean, many constitutional scholars feel like it's always should have been the state's choice, and that's why we have states.
There was a whole war about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
late, I guess mid to late 1860s, and
yeah. Yeah.
I think one of the concessions, one of the terms of one side's surrender was that states' rights should not be overridden by
The feds.
national.
Well, Hamilton, he was the big national guy. He should have lost that duel, but in any case, let's not go there. But
William Burr.
there's a lot of things, hopefully, I'm looking forward to see if Doe does anything, Department of Government Oversight. I'd like to see. I mean, I don't know why we have. I mean, I've read a lot of things. One of the things I read, and this is striking, is that I read where 85% of government workers are working from home. Have you been to D.C.?
No.
Okay, well, go and look at how many buildings, Department of this, Department of that. They have buildings the size of Radford. I mean, the building is the size of this town, and nobody's in it. We're paying for heat, light, security, internet. Like I do access control. All these things have card readers. $1 million per building for card readers, I'm sure. $1 million, easy.
Oh yeah.
And we're paying for that, and nobody's using it. So somebody needs to pull the plug on this. I just am. I think we can maybe get out of a few wars. We're already seeing some movement there. We're seeing hostages being released just from the fear of a president who will actually, who was it? Carry a big stick, speak softly and carry a big stick.
FDR.
Yeah, well, Trump is like speak loudly and carry a big stick. I get that. It's different. That annoys a lot of people. But hey,
It's different.
it's different. Well, we'll see what happens. But I personally,
Change is change, and we're all in this together. So
right.
let's be.
And people,
happier.
we didn't really go after anybody the Biden years. I mean, yeah, a lot of us were not happy with some of the things going on, but we tried to get along. And it's not. I can't say that I've yelled at any of my friends or anything that are liberal, and I'm sure a lot of them unfollow me. But I try to stay, at least on my social media, is in the middle, and I am. I mean, I believe that you can do whatever you want with your body, but just don't ask me to pay for it. So that's a libertarian.
Which is
kind
why
of view.
seatbelt laws are a problem.
Well, there's some studies that suggest that people wearing seatbelts drive more aggressively, which means that more people who walk and
Yeah.
ride bicycles are killed, where people who wear the seatbelt.
Well, cyclists are
are
a
safe.
problem too, though.
Well, yeah, we're not as upset about those. No, that's terrible to say. But yeah, the cyclists, yeah. Well, first of all, it's something about putting on that underwear that they wear.
On the outside, like Superman.
Yeah, Superman.
You're not Superman.
No, you're not. But yeah, I get it. But yeah, there's a cartoon that he picks on them a lot. It's on. I'm trying to think of the name.
Family Guy.
No. It's like an online guy.
No.
This guy is at. He hangs out at Russian River Brewery in California. Let me go to my comics. Yeah, real quick.
I like that you have a whole link for comics.
Oh, I do. Yeah, that's my morning.
Huck loves the funny pages.
I do. There weren't any political cartoons today, strangely enough. I'm almost there.
Well, no, they were all on TikTok,
Were
and
they?
they were all scheduled during that time frame it was out.
Well, here it is. Pearls Before Swine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's hilarious. But anyway,
Gary Trudeau, I think.
Stephen Pastis.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So he
What
hangs
was
out
Trudeau?
at Russian River and drinks beer and writes cartoons. So if you ever go to Russian River,
He's been doing it for
a
ever,
long
too.
time, yeah. I wish I'd known about him when I went to Russian River. My $3,000 beer. It was excellent. I had a Pliny the Younger back when you had to go there and wait in line for it. Now you can just get it anywhere.
Yeah, Trudeau was Doonesbury,
Yeah.
which was another great strip.
Yeah. Doonesbury. Yeah. He still kicks some stuff out.
Yeah.
He's extremely liberal. But
I say, but he's not in the dailies.
at Dilbert, Scott Adams went pay per view. Sorry, dude, you're not that funny. You're funny. Not that funny.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't know what it costs.
I feel like newspapers have learned you can't just set up an OnlyFans account for your newspaper.
Oh, the newspaper.
You notice that print journalism is
They're
just
going
largely
away. Well, yesterday,
it's all behind a paywall. Well, guess I don't need to know what that article said.
Well, it's just like,
Or you
okay,
can circumvent
let's pick
it.
on the Roanoke Times. So the subscription to the Roanoke Times is almost $1,000 a year. And then Monday, they had Sunday's horoscope and Dear Abby or whatever it is now. It's a guy. But yeah, they can't even do it right.
No.
And if you go through there and the ads, About half the ads are for them trying to get people to deliver their newspapers. I'm like,
Yep.
guys. And then like, we had the big football game Friday night. I was like, who won? Well, it wasn't in the paper because they went to bed at 10.
Yep.
Game was over at 9. They
No,
didn't.
and
They didn't post it until the next day.
they canned a great portion of their sports staff
Oh, yeah.
just like unceremoniously.
Well, they canned everybody,
Yeah.
and they all went to another paper, which I was watching for a while, but it's turned back into the wrong times, the lefty times. I, you know, the symbol of why the Roanoke Times is so bad is that Dan Casey is now on the front page. He's their biggest news, and he's the most lefty idiot you have ever seen in your life. I mean, they had a guy before. I can't remember his name, but he was wrote that kind of stuff. But he was just funny. Dan is just an idiot, and if he can't say something bad about a Republican, he doesn't say anything at all. But fortunately or unfortunately, he's getting a hip replacement, so we won't have to listen to his drivel for a month at least. So that'll be nice. Does that mean to say?
Yes.
Oh,
I thought we were being positive in this segment.
Well, it's positive he's not going to be there.
All right.
I don't know what they're going to
fair
put on the
enough.
front page.
Let's rate these beers.
Okay. You go.
All right, it's the Celebration Fresh Hop IPA from Sierra Nevada. This is a 5. It's always going to be a 5. I've never had a year that's not a 5. If I were going to give it less than a 5, I would ding points off because I couldn't find it in a bottle anywhere this year.
Well, I'm on the 3-notch Freedom IPA, and I think I'm going to go with you. It's a 5. It's a great IPA.
Round.
Perfectly to style. It's yummy, and it's in a red, white, and blue can. America.
Or France.
Are they red, white, and blue? They copied everything. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
We are a nation of pirates and scoundrels, Huck.
Oh, yeah, that's why I love Key West. But anyway, I digress. All right. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody too much, and if I did, I'll do it again.
It will happen. But next week, we're going to have some fun on Brewsday Tuesday.
We don't know what the fun is.
You're going to find out.
Bye.